Woo! What is up, everybody? I see Slaterade in here, of course. Slaterade is actually going to be joining us on stream a little bit later today, and I just saw. Oh, oh wow! Are we live in the Decentraland headquarters right now as well? Oh, nope. This is just the link for the results. Never mind. But okay, what is up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Building in Decentraland. So first, we're going to go over current events that we have out and things that are upcoming, and then we will go over how to create wearables in Decentraland, and then finally we will go over how to publish those wearables, and we'll have something pretty cool to publish as an example. And I also see we got DSO Syndicate with us and Mosquita. What is up? How is it going? Hope you enjoyed your holidays. But all right. Oh, first off, if you haven't already, please go ahead, like, and retweet that we are live right now. Slater will drop that link in. But we can go over the current contests. So on Thursday this week, the 29th, we will be doing the announcements for Decentraland contest number 8, Adrenaline Junkie, which had some pretty awesome submissions that people can go view. And I do love the new features where you can actually click on watch video and it'll take you to the video submission that they had. Ooh, it was quite loud for me. I don't know if you guys heard that. But so we will be doing the announcement for contest number 8 on Thursday, and then that will be followed by the Decentraland launch party for the new Sandstorm headquarters. So right after that, we will have a live DJ, Mr. Swee, very popular in the Decentraland space, bringing his Sweenergy. And then we will also be doing some giveaways, which there'll be hints to that, very obvious hints to that. So obvious that they're basically not even hints later on in this stream. So hope everybody can join us for that. It will be awesome. I guarantee it. And then that brings us to our wearable overviews. So, unless anybody has questions about the upcoming events, we will go right into the. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I messed up. We got to go back because there's a new contest live that I forgot to plug. Current contest number 9. New year, new me. I feel like I lacked a little bit of creativity coming up with that theme title, but I like the concept behind it, and that is that we are entering 2023, and you're a new person. Especially being on the Lost Island, getting rescued, becoming an adrenaline junkie, and now you got to make a statement. And you've decided that statement piece is going to be a fashion item, and so you have to create something unique that will make a statement in 2023. And you can either create a 2-piece wearable set or a 1 skin wearable. And we'll talk about, I guess, the difference between those as we get into the weight painting and wearable development. But the main thing to note is the differences in triangles, where it's 1,500 triangles per wearable, 500 per accessory. But if you're doing a full skin, you can go up to 5K. So yeah, that's why we are doing a wearable tutorial today, to make sure that everybody has the knowledge that they need to properly set up wearables and get them published and minted in Decentraland if they would like. So let's go over to the Decentraland docs and actually explore this stuff. We'll share the link here also, but wearables overview. So as most of you know, avatars have wearables, and there's sets of wearables that are NFTs. And then there's also the base set that just comes, with your avatar that you can swap out. But there are multiple slots that wearables can be assigned to, and there's also different things that you can hide depending on what you're creating. But the main wearables are located here, and then you have your different accessories, which do have the reduced try count limitation. I think we said 500 triangles versus 1500 for any of your other categories. But you can very creatively use your accessory slots. For example, you could, I know Herodokai used the tiara slot in order to put a katana on the back of people, for example, because there's no like backpack slot. So depending on the outfit that you're trying to put together, you can kind of mess around with the slots so that when everything is equipped, it all layers properly and still gives people the flexibility to wear parts of your wearable, but mix and match it with some other collections out there. And the most important thing for wearable creation outside of, I guess, the build constraints is going to be the wearables reference models. So we have downloaded these before, but in this folder, you are going to want to download the base mesh for either male or female avatars. And actually, when you publish wearables, you could make them unisex or wait, is unisex both or is that one? Uni means one. So yeah, you could make it unisex or you could make it both sexes, I guess. Um, oh, unisex is both. Okay. Well, you could make it male or female, or then you could make it unisex. And so the meshes are different for male and female, and so we will show that when we are publishing today as well. Where if you want to make something that is unisex and you actually want it to conform to the base message, the base meshes of the male and female avatars, then you will have to like recreate that item for the different body structures. And that way somebody can buy this and they can switch from male and female and still have the same wearable on. Otherwise, you limit it. So, there are some dresses out there, for example, that are specifically for female bodies. So, something to take into consideration when developing. But we are just working off of the male mesh today, and you can easily download it. Where are we going to save that to? I think I already have it actually. So you can download your base mesh, and then we will open our Blender up. I'm going to get out of edit mode here because we will be working with something that that has already been developed, not by me, by somebody very talented, Sango of the East, or Sango of the MetaZoo, depending on how you know him. But let me input something really quick. So once you've downloaded your base mesh, you're going to want to import a GLTF into a fresh Blender file. And I'm going to see if I can find mine really quick. Just my base avatar. There it is. Beautiful. So this is what you will see when you first import it, is your base avatar. And remember, there are two different rigs. So there's the rig that we just downloaded, which is for your wearable creation. And then there is also the rig for emote creations, which comes with a couple of other neat, fancy tricks, or I guess functions, I would say. But although this is what you come with, and you can separate all of the different components for the accessories and whatnot, we do have a piece that is currently developed and is actually ready for publishing. This isn't the piece that we are going to be publishing today. I'm going to be walking Slaterade through that, but this is the piece that we will use just to kind of talk about the concept of weight painting and the rig that we have. Oh, also, by the way, I know my green screen looks shitty. I literally just set it up right before this call, and then I realized I set it up behind my fan, and obviously it needed to be set up in front of my fan, and now it's going to be a real pain to move it because it's taller than my fan. So if anybody was wondering why my green screen looks terrible, that is the reason. But we are going to get back into using the green screen, maybe on Thursday. But back to wearables. Okay, so there are two main components, right? You have your rig or your armature, and this is what you would typically use to do all of your emotes, or just any sort of animation of an avatar. And then you have your actual model or your wearable that you were creating. And the wearable can actually be, any size. I mean, when I say any size, you couldn't, like, for example, shrink it like this, because I don't know how you would weight paint that. That would be very difficult. I think you would have to shrink the entire rig. Like, you wouldn't be able to create a wearable like this. I don't think you couldn't just make somebody a tinier version of themselves. You would have to do that through an emote, like the pixie emote, for example, that shrinks the entire avatar, just because of the weight painting purposes. But when you have a model created, it won't be weight painted to your rig. Well, I guess the Decentraland one will be. And actually, let me get out of this really quick. They should be partially. What are we on? We're on Avatar Head. Yeah. So the working off of the Decentraland meshes is pretty nice, because you can see over here on the bottom right, when you're clicking on the wearable, there is a bone structure, the data properties section, and you can scroll through all of the bones that are a part of the rig. And this mesh is already properly weight painted to the rig, which means that I guess if you were to just take this asset by itself, let's go back to object mode. If you were to take just this and you wanted to make a long sleeve shirt, I guess you could just kind of cut off the hands, couldn't you? Um, I'm not much of a wearable developer, but I do want to just kind of check this out really quick. Cut out the hands. We'll just try one hand. Separate that, because this will come assigned with the avatar skin material, which means whenever you are in Decentraland, you have the option to choose a variety of skin colors. Same with hair color. So hair has its own texture as well. But this base avatar skin mat is what allows people's avatars skin to change color when they want to. So you want to make sure that any part of the model that you're working on that is going to be skin, so exposed skin, you want to make sure you do not change this material, which is why we wanted to separate that. But now we could, strip it off of this part here. I know we didn't remove that hand, but that's okay. And then we could make, I don't know, a dark blue sweatshirt or something like that. And then if we were to go into pose mode, I guess it wouldn't move with the head. Where I just need to get it to move with the torso. One moment. I think I can move it away and still have it move. So now if I were to go into pose mode, yeah. So this is exaggerated because I have moved the shirt away from the body. But you can see how all of this has been weight painted to these specific bones. And we can actually look at that by going back into object mode, clicking on our object, and then again going down to your data properties. And the if we enter our, oops, not what I wanted to do, might have to do some editing there, Slaterade, depending on what just popped up post post live stream. But if we go ahead and we enter weight paint mode, this will be different shades based off of what you're doing. So right now, oh, actually, that was a terrible thing for me to do because the left hand ring too. I don't even. I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure which part of the bone or hand that's going to be. But if we were to attach this to, for example, the head, avatar head. So this is completely blue right now, which means that nothing I do with the head is going to move anything in this object. So if I go to pose mode and I click on the head and I rotate it, you can see that nothing with that sweater is moving. But if I go back to object mode, click on this guy, enter weight paint mode, and then I don't know, just heavily weight paint this a little bit. We can go back to our object mode, click here, enter pose mode. And now if we rotate it, you will see how the weights have affected the way that the texture or the material will shift with the rig or your avatar's body. And so for basic designs, weight painting really isn't that much of an issue. But for example, with this design, since this is an upper body piece, but it actually drapes down over the lower body, I know that around the hip area, a little extra attention needed to be taken or paid towards the weight painting. So we can actually look at this model over here. Let's go back into our object mode. When you've got rigs in and there's weight painting mode and pose mode, it's kind of a pain to swap through them all. Pose mode, and we want weight paint mode. There we go. So yeah, you can see here where it is attached to the hips. And actually, out of curiosity, if we go to object mode, I wonder if this is painted onto the hips at all. Where are the hips? There they are. No, so this isn't weight painted to the hips at, oh, I'm in object mode. Okay, so it's weight painted to the hips on the top portion. Okay, so that makes sense. But that's interesting because where the divide is, if I bring this over here, yeah, so the divide is there, but if I click on this model and I enter the weight paint mode, okay, yeah, so it was just the back half there. So here you just had to make sure that the bottom portion, which would normally be aligned with, I guess, the buttocks area, hips. Oh, hips. That came to me a little bit late. But in the hip area, when you're making wearables like this, you will just have to make sure that you are hand painting your wearables weight paint for the missed regions. Otherwise, you would be bending your body and nothing would be happening to these lower portions. So are there any questions so far? I know weight painting can be kind of a task, but for the most part, when you have a model, I believe it's a control. No, I don't want to make a parent. One second. I'm not trying to set parent. Okay, I forgot the shortcut. But there is a shortcut to set automatic weight paints, which is typically what people do. But again, if you're working off of the Decentraland avatar or the base model and base rig, then you shouldn't have any issues. The one thing that you want to remember is that if you are trying to render an image, then you might want to pose your avatar, because that way when you submit your avatar, or when you submit your wearable for publishing through Decentraland, you can use your rendered image in a certain pose that kind of showcases it in a better manner. Otherwise, it'll just take the base pose JPEG. But when you actually publish the models, so the model itself, you want it to stay in idle pose, or else you'll mess around with how it functions in Decentraland. But for the rendered image, you'll want to go ahead and pose it yourself. And so I don't think we've messed around with this rig all too much yet. But if we again enter the weight paint mode, what I find really interesting is how you can go through all of these and you'll see just the individual weights that have been painted on. And it's a lot of trial and error trying to figure out if something clips. Like, for example, this has overlapping material, which makes it prone to clipping issues, where that material, instead of bending and meshing with other material, like how this kind of clumps up when you do it, it would just get hidden inside of the material that you have underneath it, like having that get hidden inside of the arm if they do a shrug or something like that. So with the new emote creations, I feel like it's actually getting more difficult to create something that absolutely does not clip at all. But for the most part, you can go through the base, 9 emotes, I would say, and just test for clipping issues. And we will show that today as well. We can do a little movements here though. If I were to pose this guy, go back into object mode. Let's go into pose mode. And then you can just use, typically rotate is what I use, but say you wanted him just to, oh, well, that looks a little funky. We're gonna have to rotate that down a little bit. Maybe rotate that back a little bit. I think that's not terrible. I'm gonna put him in a staff holding position. And then I guess we'd want to kind of curl in all of the fingers. I know you can enter another, I think it's just this, isn't it? Here we go. This is much easier to use when you are doing animations or poses or anything like that. This, I don't know what it's called. Oh, I guess you just click rotate. So instead of clicking on R, you can click on the actual rotate key. And I feel like it just makes it a lot easier for some of these difficult positionings. Otherwise, they tend to get a little bit away from me, not gonna lie. And I'm not going to pose this entire arm or hand, but I will do just that much. Is that how you would hold a? I guess your thumb is on the other side, isn't it? Darn. Oh yeah, that was oversight on my end, I would say. Gotta rotate this thumb. I think it does need to go this way. And then I think these are just going to have to come out. Actually, oh, How does the hand work? I feel like you've... Oh, that doesn't look good at all. No, that looks bad. But I feel like I feel like we are getting the point nonetheless in terms of how the wearable is now moving with the rig. Although it does seem I am putting this avatar into some positions that normal people might not find themselves in. Like that would be an uncomfortable position for me personally. Slaterade says, "LOL, got to look at it from the right angle." Yeah, if you, I mean, no, this is just a messed up hand at this point. I don't even know how to fix this thumb. I'm making it worse at each. Oh well. Oh no, that's a dislocate. That's dislocated or broken for sure. Oh boy. Just wait till Sango sees what I did with his beautiful model. But once you have your model and it has been weight painted, you can easily export it. So, excuse me, for anybody that wants to export, you also export as a GLTF, especially for Decentraland. For other platforms, you might export as something else, but for Decentraland, it is GLTFs. And then some people, like say you're creating a wearable for somebody else, we've heard of like people asking for the actual Blender files, but you don't want to provide the actual Blender files because, for example, you're texturing, most likely your texture materials, if you have those tied to local files, then when you send the Blender file, it's not going to come out the same way you see it. It'll probably come out like pink. So when you export it as a GLTF, it will come with the pose and rigging that you currently have, any animations, and also your weight painting and textures and materials. And then once you have it exported as a GLTF, I'm going to do this as a brief overview before we bring Slaterade on, but you can go to Decentraland, and then under the Decentraland builder, there is a collections section, and over here you can create a new collection. So I'll call this Sandstorm. Name is already in use. Did I? Somebody's using the Sandstorm name somewhere. It's probably me. Cool. Now you can start working on your items. So open the editor and you can add items. So you can drag your asset file over here, which is what I'm going to do. I'm really gonna get better at that. Wearables tier 4. We'll drag this one in. And you'll see it comes positioned with a PNG, but you could replace this photo if you wanted to with the like whatever rigged version that you had wanted to do. And then this is where you can assign it to a specific gender if you would like, depending on what you've created. Select your rarity, your category. This is upper body, and then click create. And then here, once it's been created, is where you can edit it. So under oh, did they change the editor a little bit? Oh, nope. Open an editor. They just changed the way we access it. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Not going to lie. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Very nice. But in the editor, this is where you can have a bunch of assets in here and you can, test them out, see how they mix and match, how they overlap, how they click, and then where you can change the different names, descriptions, and your categories, rarity, and how it overrides other items in Decentraland or other wearables in Decentraland. For example, if you want to hide the hair or if you want to hide the entire face because you're creating a helmet. So once that is all done, you can simply publish it, and that will cost you 150 US dollars. Well, also you'd want to set your price before you publish, but then it will cost 150 US dollars, which I think is like 400 mana right now, 500 mana right now. Mana's really cheap. Let me actually, I'm just curious. Mana's trading at 31 cents. That's pretty cheap. That's not bad. I'm not going to get into any technical analysis, and this is not financial advice, but I am interested to see where mana goes. And yeah, I think that would add up to about 500 mana. So now that we've done a quick overview, Slaterade, I would love to welcome you on to help you import these latest items, also developed by the amazing Sango, and get these published or get them, I guess, into the review cycle.
Hey, what's up?
This is, I think this is the first time you've ever, really joined on stream. I love it.
I do not show up on the show too often, but yeah, I'm here.
This is a unicorn moment, everybody. This is very exciting. But yeah, do you want to go ahead and share your screen, and then I'll just step you through the process? Because I know it seems pretty straightforward, but the first time I did it, I went through and I was like, what the hell am I supposed to be hiding? How am I supposed to be testing this? Like, if I upload a collection, do I need a different collection for each item, or how do I assign the different items? So we'll just get it all sorted.
A little recursion there, but yeah, you can see all right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm here at the builder website, and so I would be going to manage collections, right?
Yes, but you want to sign in first. So sign in with your MetaMask.
Of course. Sign in, make sure we're on the right account. We are.
And now collections. Beautiful. Your very first collection. I'm going to be so proud of you after this. But all right, go ahead and click the plus button.
Right.
New collection. And then whatever you'd like to name it.
Guess we got to use SandStorm Meetup. Right. And so I'm adding both of those GLB files, right?
Yes. So you'll do it one at a time, though. So you're adding one new item right now, and then we'll assign that and make sure that we get these both in the same collection.
Gotcha. Okay.
And this is where it'll get a little bit tricky, because there's a male and female version. So for this one, you'll actually assign this as male, and then we will put in the female one and we'll pair them together, basically. So is this part of an existing item? No, this one is not. Rarity, so it tells you the units there. I think you guys wanted to do epic, but I don't entirely remember. 1,000's pretty good normally. And then for the category, this is going to be the upper body. Awesome. Okay, and then we are going to want to go up to where it says add item, and we're going to add the female version of that. Beautiful. Female. Is it part of an existing item? Yes. Select the item, and that's going to be your Sandstorm hoodie. Perfect.
Ooh.
And now if you click on the 3 dots next to incomplete, you can click the third one down, open an editor. And then here you will be able to, one, see that the hair is coming through the hoodie. So this is going to be where you want to go into your override section. So this is not going to replace, this is going to hide hair.
Okay, so I selected it. Should it?
No, you'll have to save before you see the update.
Okay, gotcha. Let me grab my little description here. Pop back.
Oh yeah, and when I gave you the amount of characters that would be allowed in the description, I did not know the actual amount.
Yes, it looks much less.
I'm so sorry. I was like, 300, 350. I don't know. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I really thought they were that there was more than Twitter.
Let's see.
Rep your favorite metaverse building community with this stylish.
And I ran out. Let's see.
Watching Slater 8 and I workshop live right now. Rep your favorite metaverse. What if we say builder community? We save one letter there, and then with we can use a W/, and then can you put this in there? Does that fit?
Oh, there you go. Figured it out. All right.
Love it. Okay, so you should be able to click save now.
Let's see. Save. Boom.
Beautiful. And then let's just double check because this hoodie does come with a built-in hairstyle. So if you open up on the bottom there, it should have an arrow down that will show you your properties, not the emote one, but next to it on the left. Yes. So just change your hair color and let's just make sure that works.
Yep.
Awesome. Beautiful. That works. And that is a reference to the material that comes pre-downloaded with the base avatars that we were talking about a little bit earlier. So cool. Now change from a male to a female. Looks like it's working. Yeah, change hair color. Good. Yep. Try out an emote. Make sure it looks all good. Yeah, you can just hide that. Ooh, fashionista.
There you go.
Beautiful. And then on the right, on the bottom right there, if you click on that cylinder, it should, that might just be for emotes. Maybe it's for wearables as well. But for anybody who isn't aware, those are the boundaries where your avatar and your wearable cannot exceed those boundaries. So a little extra note there, I guess. Tags, you can put in tags if you would like. You could tag like, Sandstorm or something like that. So it's more easily searchable. And then it looks like you're pretty good to go.
Cool. I'm happy with this. Oh, I lost my button. What happened?
What did you do?
Let's try this. There we go. Okay. So then just save.
Yep. And now on the top left, you can click that arrow back button and then click the 3 bars or the hamburger. Now you can click on your collection there. And you will want to set your price.
Now, if we're trying to not sell it but use it as a giveaway, what will we?
So I would say make the price like I'm trying to remember if they fixed this or not, because there were times where people had made it free and then people were able to just go, like mint a bunch of the free ones. So I'm going to say put in a price, put in like 10 mana, for example, and then they won't automatically go up for sale. So you could actually mint like, 100 of them to your account and then you can give those away. But I would say then make sure you click that you're the beneficiary. Or, for example, if I was uploading this for you, I would put in your wallet address as the beneficiary, and then you can click save.
Right.
Now the publish button is available, so you can click on publish. Authorize mana. I know that button is so hard to see for me. Maybe it's just my computer, but I never know where to click. Proceed. Confirm your collection name.
Oh, okay.
Confirm. You acknowledge all the good legal stuff.
There we go.
472 mana. That is the current amount. It's crazy that 472 mana used to be worth $2,500. Like, that is just nuts, man.
Market.
Awesome. So now you will want to click on View Forum Post. This is pretty important. So here is basically where it gets assigned to somebody on the wearable review committee. And any comments they might have, like, for example, if you had a clipping issue, or if it was an emote and it was going outside of the boundaries, somebody from the wearable review committee is going to get assigned to review this piece. And then any comments that they have, if you need to fix something, are going to be posted here below. And the comments will also give you an email notification. But this is where you will be, I guess, communicating with the wearable review team if there are any issues.
Cool. Awesome.
And then once it is published, you will be able to go back to your builder. And actually, I can show this part since I do have some things published already. For example, this set. Once it is published, you can click the mint button, and then I have multiple items in this collection. So I would be able to mint multiple items at a time. Like if I wanted to mint a full set of, anything to somebody, and you could mint, say, 100 of these that I could send to somebody right now. And I think that's the max amount you could do. But if I were to do this and click next, I would be able to mint, and then those would show up in that person's account. And then you could also list them for sale on the Decentraland marketplace, or you could also list them for sale on the OpenSea marketplace.
Awesome.
Out of that, was there anything that was confusing for you?
No, it was straightforward once you understand kind of like replacing or hiding certain features and all that. Like, it's really not that difficult.
Yeah, beautiful. So anybody who is creating a design for the upcoming competition, or for the current competition, you too can mint on the Decentraland marketplace, especially because last place, or fifth place, the fifth winner, gets $150 US, which is enough to publish these. And if you were to sell 1,000 of them at 10 mana a piece, how much would that be? That would be 10,000 mana. Mana's trading at 30 cents. It's $3,000. Not bad. Not bad.
Pretty good. On top of winning the competition.
Yes, exactly. But okay. I mean, I think we actually went through that faster than I thought we were going to go through that. So I don't know if we have any questions from the crowd about weight painting or the armature in Decentraland, but I guess I'll pause for a second, and if anybody would like me to clarify something or go back to Blender, more than happy to go over some more content. What do you think, Slater Aid?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions, if not, I think we covered just about everything today, right?
Yeah, I think so. You can now download the Decentraland avatar rig. You can separate your meshes. You know how to enter pose mode for staging your avatar or your wearable. You know how to enter the weight painting mode and then also access your data properties so that you can weight paint to the different portions of the Decentraland rig. You know how to upload this to the Decentraland builder, swap between or upload male and female versions and combine those into a single version that swaps when people change their avatar gender, and then how to test for clipping with the emotes, as well as how to test for the distance distance for emotes if you were to be publishing an emote, and then also how to do hides, replaces, and go all the way through to the publishing phase, and then actually be able to communicate with the wearable review committee in order to make sure any issues are addressed. So yeah, I think we covered a lot. We did a pretty good job today.
Yeah, it's a good job.
Well, awesome. Yeah, if there's no other questions, then I think we can call it.
Yeah, agreed. Thanks everyone for watching today, and I can't wait to see the submissions for the next contest.
Yes, make sure to get those in, everybody. Very excited.
Cool.
Later, Slater. Later, everybody.
Thanks everyone. See y'all next time.